All right, welcome back to another podcast, Orange Ball, episode 16. Also, Sammy's birthday today, so
Yes,
we got a great episode. Jump right into it, man. And also, I've been sick, so bear with me with my voice. But jumping right into it, we had a great week of hoops, man.
Yeah.
And it's just college hoops right now. It's kind of the big thing. So finished up with football and everyone's turned their focus, and it kind of last weekend had a really good showing for college hoops.
Yeah, I mean, it's just big game after big game. I've always thought someone in the TV media area should make like an NFL red zone, but for college basketball.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine sitting there Saturday, there's like 100 games. It's jumping back from some big sky school, big sky game, and then it comes back to this SEC big time game. Just whatever game's coming down to the wire. But, I mean, yeah, now that football's over, this Saturdays are for college basketball, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, last weekend there was a couple of games that went to overtime. Obviously, the big one, Kansas at home with Houston, and it's so weird. And I think a lot of people could attest to this, but like Kansas up by 6 with 18 seconds left in Allen Fieldhouse, they never lose that game. Yeah, I mean, they just don't lose games like that, especially at home. And then missed free throws, a 5-second count with 2 timeouts left, turnovers, and Houston just capitalized on everything. Kind of all had to play out in their favor, and it did. And it kind of jumped Houston into an elite category, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was not impressed with Hunter Dickinson. He just doesn't do much, I feel like. I don't know. But, yeah, to your point, in Allen Fieldhouse, they lost. And they played UCF the next game, and the refs kind of bailed them out of that. I don't know if you saw the end.
Yeah.
But UCF, they're down 3 with like 5 seconds left. They go down to try to shoot, but Kansas fouls them. And they
didn't give him continuation.
Yeah, he was pretty clearly in his shooting motion, so – I don't know.
And also they had lost previously to West Virginia at home. It's a really weird year because and I don't know. I'm also in kind of the same boat with Hunter Dickinson. I think he's a really good player, but he's also been around for so long that you kind of just what he's gonna do, but also like I don't know if he's really the best thing for Kansas. He like defensively. He'll make a couple plays, but then he kind of sometimes I think he's afraid to foul to be out of the game. Mm-hmm. But then when he does foul, he's gonna hack you like crazy,
kick you on
the ground or something crazy. So, he's just been around for so long. So maybe it's just that like we just know his face too well. But they still have a good team. But man, it was kind of everything had to fall into place for Houston to win. But credit to them. They got the turnovers when needed. I mean, they're so good defensively that you can't the out of bounds plays that Kansas were running. You can't just trust one guy to get open because their defense is so good in that way. So yeah, it was an interesting game, but credit to Houston. I thought they looked really good in that game.
Yeah, that was probably one of the better games I've seen all year, and Houston went in there and probably got one of the biggest wins they'll get this year. And the SEC just continues to keep rolling.
Yeah.
We got Auburn just rolling over everybody. Bama is in the middle of their 10-game quad one streak, which is crazy. But one team from the SEC that has really surprised me is Vandy.
Yeah, they've knocked off a couple of guys, and what are they going to be a team that maybe could sneak in at this point now? Like
I think they're 24 in the AP poll.
I mean they've knocked off at home a couple games in a row, and I mean it's just another team to that list, and then you just go along with some of these teams that are. I mean, you go around the conference, and it's just every team has a great player. It'll probably be impossible to find 5 guys that are all league players in that league because every team seems like they have one. And Florida's good, Auburn, obviously, Alabama. Like you just go down the list. It's like, when does this end? And every night those teams play, which is great.
Yeah. I saw this on Twitter. Somebody agree or disagree with this statement. Somebody said this. Can't remember who it was, but winning the SEC tournament will be harder than winning the national championship.
I saw that as well. I think I disagree with that, but I understand the take for sure. I understand the, like, whoever wins the SEC tournament, if you believe in going in to a tournament hot, it's got to be whoever wins the SEC, because they're going to beat teams that are, just as, if Auburn wins the SEC tournament, they're probably going to have to beat Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, all those guys. So, I see the argument, but I think the NCAA tournament's just a different animal in that way, where the unfamiliarity of teams that you play against in the in the big dance is what makes it challenging, I think.
Yeah, and plus you got to win a lot more games than
absolutely.
the 3 or 4 that you get in the SEC. But going back to Vandy, I also saw on Twitter that their AD was talking to the student section before they were about to beat, I can't remember who it was, their last win.
Where they got fined.
Yeah, she's like, let's not storm the court and save some money so we can get better players with NIL. I'm like, you guys are having the best Vanderbilt sports season of all time with their football team and basketball team.
That's what I saw someone say, like, why don't we give Vandy a pass?
Yeah.
Because they've historically have just not been good at either sport, and this is the best year they've probably ever had combined with both sports playing. Let them rush the field, rush the court. But there's no need to charge them $500,000 for that. It's crazy. It's kind of a no fun police at that point. Like, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah, I want to talk about. I looked up who the top 3 quad 1 wins, and we got Auburn at number 1 with 12, and then this one, maybe surprising, is Oregon at number 2 with 8 wins. They've lost a couple games recently, but people forget that they're a really good team.
Their resume stands out with, the best teams in the country. They just have struggled. Like, I think January they've gone 4-4. Like, they just kind of struggle in some areas at times. But, like, at one point they were like a 2 seed. They'll probably realistically be 5 or 6. But their resume stands out pretty good. And was that Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, another team that I didn't even mention in the SEC. But damn good team. That's what's crazy about that league as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another shout out for you. How about Pacific again?
Oh, I wrote that down.
Our boys at Pacific have they've laser focused in one team in the West Coast Conference just to beat, and it's Washington State. Sorry, Cougs, but they've just decided that that's the team they're going to beat this year. They've done it twice, and I wouldn't want to see them in the West Coast Conference tourney. No, I don't think.
I think
if you were the Cougs.
In the last 2 years, Pacific's only conference wins were Wazoo this year, within a month of each other.
Yeah, that was only within a couple weeks.
Yeah. A couple weeks.
I mean, even a couple weeks ago, we were talking about that. So it's just, I saw that last night. There was another school, and I can't remember. I think the Sun Belt that had kind of the same thing. Did you see
I saw that?
well? Yeah.
It was like Alabama. Something.
Yeah, and they had done the same thing to someone else.
That's funny though. I mean, I caught the tail end of that game, and every time Wazoo came back, Pacific, Lamar Washington, he was on fire again.
He has something out for must have not been recruited by the Cougs or something.
His last name's Washington.
Yeah, so. That's true.
But that's funny. Yeah, shout out Burke.
Yeah, they do it again.
They tried to put him in at the end. Because there was 0.5 seconds left, but it was an official's review, so
no subs.
So they wouldn't let him go in, but they needed him for that last one. What else we got? Oh, I was gonna say the Mountain West. This last month has been drunk.
Oh my God,
it's been crazy.
It's crazy.
We got teams just losing, and then like UNLV, for example, they lose to who was it? Wyoming. Yeah, they lost to Wyoming, and then they go and beat New Mexico, Utah State, San Diego State on the road.
And then San Diego State on the road at Air Force needs a last-second layup to win that game. That
was crazy.
And then even the other night, San Jose was up by 20 points in San Diego. San Diego State had like a 22-0 run to win that game in the end. But, I mean, they were down by 15 points at halftime. Like, it's a crazy league right now. It really is, and you have to you got to take this one game at a time, because if you look ahead, an Air Force is just gonna beat you. Or something.
Yeah, Air Force always comes close or beats somebody.
Yeah, I mean they beat New Mexico last year. Yeah. They'll beat someone this year, I'm sure.
And it's just weird matchups. Like I remember San Diego State went to overtime, I think last year with Air Force too.
I think you're right.
If I'm not mistaken, but yeah, I mean that it just goes to show like in the Mountain West tournament, anything can happen. Any team can beat any.
I think it might be one of those years.
Yeah, because realistically, Air Force is in last place, and they almost beat one of the best teams in the Mountain West. So we'll see.
I think a San Jose is a team that like because they were really hot early in that game against San Diego State, and like San Diego State's just so good defensively that they were able to kind of corral it. But I wouldn't want to be down 20 points to those guys early in the first half. Like they get hot and shoot the ball well, and then like even Nevada. Like they still have so much talent. Like if they do kind of put the wagons back together and get it going, they'll be tough to beat. Like those teams too are, and then even Wyoming is good too.
Who are your Mountain West Player of the Year watches right now? Who do you think is in the top 3, top 5?
I think one has got to be Donovan Dent.
Yeah,
the dude's just a freak. He's a really good, really fun to watch. For New Mexico, and then I guess if you went down to Utah State, you'd probably say like Ian Martinez has been playing pretty good. He can shoot the ball really well. I mean Tyson's probably up there. If they win some more games, it's going to be who kind of wins the league. That's why it's pretty tough to.
Tyson just obviously is one of the best players in Mountain West, but usually the award goes to like a Didon Thomas at UNLV's probably would be in the conversation, but they're not going to win the league. I think it's got to be Donovan Dent. Yeah. I think he's just a freak, man. Another guy, he's not in the top talks, but for San Diego State, McGwoon.
He's kind of broke out this year.
I remember I saw last year he was redshirting, and there was this clip of him in practice. I was like, I'm gonna remember that guy, and then he didn't really do a ton early season, but he's had like back-to-back double-doubles.
Yeah, he's become kind of a key component to what they do, and he's really good. Yeah. He's pretty fun to watch. He's just like the lengthiest guy you'll ever see playing.
Just throwing things down.
Yeah. What about? We talked about this, I think, earlier in the year, but some coach before the season I think started, but some coach in hot seats. Mm-hmm. I put Hubert Davis at North Carolina first. I don't know. I feel like if you're North Carolina, you gotta like the expectation is so high that you can't just have. I heard someone say this, but it's like I think Scott Van Pelt said it. He was like, North Carolina isn't a program that's every couple years we'll make a run. Mm-hmm. It's got to be something like that.
It's Sweet 16 or bust. Honestly, that's what the fans expect, and with Dean Smith and. Roy, Coach Roy. Those are 2 legendary coaches, and you got some big shoes to fill. I
mean, it's the same at Indiana with Woodson, which I put down. Like, they don't really play hard or at all. So it's like, it's just a weird to watch those 2 programs kind of be like middle of the road in their conference, and even like for North Carolina, like the ACC is not a great conference. Like at least for Indiana, the Big Ten's really tough. The ACC is not that great of a conference, and if you're struggling at home with like all the middle of the road teams, that's not a good look. And then the last one I put down Kevin Kruger, but he won his job back. I like Kevin. I think he'll be all right. Doug Gottlieb. Is he gonna? What is the move? Because it obviously doesn't work, and he's like he wants to be with the radio thing still. I don't get it, man.
Well, he should have never put that post out about
the calendar
the
thing.
Month of December where he's like pretend I'm working, and then they go to lose like 8 in a row and lose to Division II school, and that was pretty funny. But
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think that's probably a one and done, and he can go back to just doing radio full time. And because it doesn't work. It obviously doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Here's one thing that I saw, I think on Twitter, but couple of guys were like going back and forth about it. Like, is college basketball kind of one of the best products right now in most sports? Like, if you really look at it, like with college football, like college basketball is not going to get nearly the ratings and all that stuff that any of these other sports do. But if you look at it, like college football, everyone's kind of up in arms about like NIL, and you're able to pay so much, and the NIL exists in college basketball, but not in the way that football does. And it's kind of, the transfer portal has evened out for basketball way more than I think football does. And then even if you go to like pro sports, like the NBA, really low ratings. The NFL, when everyone's saying your league is rigged, that's probably not a good look. Like, if you kind of go down the list, like college basketball, I think is in a great spot, which is, it's weird that I don't think a lot of people consider it to be like a super high watch, sport, but it's in a really good spot, I feel like.
I mean, I think a big factor that plays in that is just the unpredictability. Like, for example, this last week when Caleb Love hits a half-court shot to force overtime and beat Iowa State, like that's just awesome to see. And like NFL,
like everyone's watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like that's not. Yeah,
it's, you pretty much expect the Chiefs to be there every year, and it's not really that fun to see the Chiefs and some NFC team, usually the Eagles, or it has been the Eagles. And it's hard
to love it throughout the year when it's all leading towards one matchup, which is great. I mean, it's a great matchup, but like, man, we don't want to sit there every single year. It feels like it just leads to one path. It's tough.
And 64 teams any team can win.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's so much just variety, and I mean, once it gets to March, more of the casuals.
Well, that's also the thing about like college football. I think needs to end sooner, because it's like, man, people have missed so much good basketball because they don't watch it until the football season's over or whatnot. It's like when the Super Bowl is, February, like all those people just get into it. It's like, you guys miss so much.
Oh yeah.
And then, like the Caleb Love thing, like everyone was there. Everyone that watched that was like, if you're not watching this now, don't bother in March, because this is exactly what it's all about. And that was like, a crazy game in that way, but crazy.
Watch the best sport.
Right.
Anything can happen. So we're gonna move into a little game. I should have pulled this up before we started, but I'm sure some of you guys have seen this on TikTok. But we are gonna be selecting or choosing our best college, I guess you could say.
Yeah, our ideal college.
Yeah, we got. You can read the categories.
So we're gonna do a random generator, and then it's gonna we're gonna pick pick one for each, basically. So football, basketball, baseball, location, mascot, academics, and colors.
Love it. All right, how should we do this? Options. All right, we'll do this. We'll do basketball because there's more options.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. So first team is Cincinnati.
Oh boy.
Cincinnati. I don't know about location. Ohio.
No. Not decent football, basketball. Yeah. I doubt they have baseball.
I don't. Yeah.
It might be a colors scenario.
Yeah. Or do they have good academics?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go. Should we go?
A little red and black.
Red and black. Simple. Right. We lost stuff. Cincy. Not a great first one, but all right. Next one is UNLV.
Oh.
We got a little running Rebels.
So Vegas, not a bad location.
Yeah.
But not really a college town. Mascot's pretty cool.
I mean, football and basketball.
Basketball, they have some history.
Yeah. Probably not academics. Should we go mascot?
I like.
We'll go with the Running Rebels.
Running Rebels.
Yeah, not the Rebels. UNLV. All right, next up we got South Dakota. Oh shoot. Maybe we should have just done football generator instead of everything. But
Can we switch it?
yeah, NCAA
NCAA
football.
football, yeah. It'll give us a
Oops. Yeah, do one.
better. Well, that
Davidson.
come on now.
Okay.
Miami.
So we got probably not
Football.
probably not basketball.
Not basketball. I don't really know baseball. Miami's
Miami's nice.
nice location.
Should we do location?
I think Miami's
Yeah.
probably a good location.
I'm holding out for a good team. All right, so we need the sports and academics. Bro,
Hell
what?
no.
Houston. I like
I
that.
mean, I think you got to go basketball
yeah.
at this one.
That's easy.
It's a good one. Good hoops school.
Jordan School as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Cal. Academics.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Private.
Okay, we're good on that.
So now we need football and baseball.
Oh,
Come on. I don't know much about college baseball, but the Raging Cajuns. Let's just say baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'm sure they do.
I have no idea if they have baseball. Yeah, they probably have
Let
baseball.
me look
in
it
the
up real
South.
quick. See how they did this year. Oh, shoot. Baseball.
Oh, yeah. They got a team at least.
They got a team. Baseball record. Okay, so they're
42
and 20.
Hey, not bad.
That's
All right. That's a good year.
That's solid. That's
Right. Competing.
Was this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last one.
So we're getting football no matter where we get here.
You want to do the honors?
Yeah.
Our football team is going to be. They don't have football.
Auburn.
That's
Auburn,
solid.
not bad,
That's solid.
Not bad.
So we got Auburn as football, Houston basketball, baseball, Louisiana Lafayette, Miami as a location, the Running Rebels, Cal Academics, and Black and Red for Cincy.
Not bad.
I'd say that's pretty solid.
That's a pretty solid list there.
Pretty solid.
I like that one.
I would say the only thing. I'm not a huge Black and Red guy.
No.
That's the only thing.
I don't know where else you put Cincinnati. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, maybe mascot, the Bearcats.
Oh, Bearcats ain't bad.
That's kind of a.
I like the Running Rebels. I like the Running Rebs. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Let's go back here. Yeah. So we got a big slate tomorrow.
Definitely a big
I guess
slate.
it's Friday the 31st right now.
Yeah.
We got Duke UNC.
Duke
tomorrow.
UNC. That'll be good.
If UB wins that one,
That's always one that'll bring back the fan base a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a lot of ranked games, but the biggest one for me is the first place game in the Mountain West.
True, 8:00.
Utah State, New Mexico,
or 7:30.
Man, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, we gotta watch that.
Yeah, that's down in the pit, right? Or no, that's in.
I think it's in
Logan?
the Spectrum, maybe.
Yeah, Logan.
Yeah, both one-loss teams. That's gonna play a huge advantage for this next last.
I'm gonna
last
throw
half.
up. I think New Mexico wins.
You gonna say New Mexico wins? Do you know the spread?
No,
I'm gonna say it's Utah State
I would
2.5.
assume they're probably favorite.
2.5.
I think. I don't know.
Spectrum Magic, man.
Spectrum Magic.
They got some devil magic going in on there. Is it out yet? It might not be out.
Might not be out.
Yeah.
I would probably assume it's probably like 3 points or something, 2.5.
And then of course we got like probably 3 or 4 ranked SEC games
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Well, did you see that? So some guy put out a tweet that was like, "I can't believe everyone's hyping up the SEC. They're 54-54 in conference play." And then Archie Miller said it in his press conference, like being like, "I don't know, like, yeah, I mean they're 50. They're like, I saw someone said like they're 500 in conference play." Well, yeah, every conference is going to be 500 in conference play.
That's funny.
No matter how many games they play.
Twitter trolls.
Yeah.
Got
another one. Man.
Yeah, got another one. Shrink.
Yeah.
Did you see the new Jacksonville coach, his Duval?
Duval. I bet that's been stuck in my head. His like face is like.
Oh yeah, he looks like a cartoon character.
Well, someone posted his. I didn't really know a whole lot about him, but someone posted his college. He was like a really good college quarterback at UMass, but someone posted his college photo, and some guy was like, "Oh my God, bro has the ultimate doofus face."
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's brutal when those opening press conferences go a little stray because.
Yeah.
Now what? But
yeah,
man. Good weekend of hoops, and it'll be fun to watch, man.
Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Oh my God! It's at this point, I'm just going. Someone please beat the Chiefs, but maybe if the Chiefs win, Travis Kelce retires
and proposes
on
the same night.
So. Maybe that'll be the end of it, but I don't know. It's probably gonna be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I hope it's the Eagles, but
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
and whatever. But
I will not be home, unfortunately. I'll be live at Pacific versus Gonzaga.
Well, that's
WCC matchup.
I mean, that's
of
more
the year.
important.
Yeah,
way more important.
Hey, hopefully, Pacific keeps winning.
Yeah,
it's their third win.
Yeah. That would be something if they beat Gonzaga.
That'd be insane. I can see it happening. You never know.
Hey, you got to bring your A game, man.
Yeah.
When you're down in Stockton.
Yeah. Well, sweet.
All right.
Thanks
We'll see you guys
watching.
next week.
See you next week. And have a good weekend.